Okay, chat. I know I'm not streaming, but still, chat. This video is going to cover some slightly mature topics, and we are going to take them seriously. We're not gonna laugh, we're not gonna make immature jokes, we're going to behave like adults. Okay, it's been 7 seconds, I can say the funny words now. Boobies! This video is about boobies! I have 1 minute. My chest tracker just unchest trackered. First move. Great. Wonderful. Whoever designed this stupid EOZ chest strap.
It's okay, buddy.
It doesn't work with boobs! Yeah, that clip is what spurred this whole video. The apparently unholy concoction of VR trackers and boobs.
Hell for having boobs. Just don't have boobs. Grr. Show me your boobs.
Now, before I dunk on this thing too hard, let's go over how you attach trackers to your body normally. For feet, I like the EOZ foot straps. They have this little piece that goes around the back of your ankle and it keeps the tracker more planted on your feet. For your hip tracker, any belt strap works. They're all the same. You just, loop around your body like this. But no matter what belt strap you use though, I recommend looping it through a tight pair of booty shorts like this. The shorts keep the hip tracker from moving around even when you smack the tracker against the pole or floor. But keep in mind, this will destroy the shorts. Badly. These still hold the tracker well, but yes, these are now assless chaps. I'm kind of sad, by the way, because Hot Topic doesn't sell these anymore, and I really like these shorts. Also, if you like spending more money, EOZ has these VR Chat Special Edition straps. They're these pretty blue color, and I would have recommended the Trans Academy tracker straps because pretty colors, and I know my audience, but they're limited edition, and they don't make them anymore. For limb trackers, the EOZ limb straps are pretty good. I've tried both elbow and knee tracking, but I constantly hit the trackers against the pole, and you either have to tighten them so much that they cut off blood flow, or they're loose and they rotate. Don't let me stop you from trying it though. Elbow and knee trackers really add to the performance. It's just, I personally don't like using them. If you don't want to buy limb straps though, fun fact, your old feet straps will work as arm straps just fine, and I swear this piece can actually help sometimes. But yeah, you don't need to spend the money. These will work, but they have the same downfalls as normal limb straps. Before people call me an EOZ shill, Rebuff Reality has some good straps too. Their feet straps aren't as good because they don't have this little ankle strap right here, but they sell ones with built-in batteries if you want longer battery life at the sacrifice of a little bit more weight. That 20-hour battery life figure they claim is pretty close to the truth, and you'd think who needs 20 hours, but I've met people who play 12 to 16 hours a day of VR chat, and if you didn't know that real people spend every waking moment of the day with a screen strapped to their face interacting with other people wearing screens, now you know, and the world's a better place because of it. Now for the topic of this video, chest trackers. I used to use an old hip strap tying a funny knot around my neck and tits to hold the chest tracker, and honestly, it worked really well, but recently it's been falling off a lot, hence why I don't have it. It kind of fell apart entirely. So I decided to try a proper chest strap. I don't like it. This is an EOZ chest strap, and other than janky solutions like I've tried or trying to adapt a GoPro chest mount, this is kind of your only option. Now, before I bash on it for the next 5 minutes, let me point out, for most people, this fits just fine. And hell, it would fit fine on me except for one problem. Boobs! For the boys, this works just fine. Goes right on top of your pecs, and you can adjust how tight it is through these little straps right here. I don't like the adjustment, but it's adjustment. But it's missing one form of adjustment. Height. This is elastic. You can't decide how high it is on you. It just goes on where it wants to go on, and you need a little tension on these, but this is elastic. There's no adjustability to it. When I put it on, it goes right perfectly across the center of my tits. And it sucks. Ladies will understand this, but when you tighten it down enough to stay in place, it makes your chest squeeze out from the top and bottom, and it's not comfortable. And on top of being uncomfortable, you need some tension on the shoulder straps to keep the strap planted on your body. But because there's tension here, it wants to pull the whole thing up your chest. And obviously this is dramatized, but even on males, it will do this because you have a bit of a bump here. So now this is all loose, and here's the other fun thing. This is a shorter circumference than this, so these that were tight, they're loose, and this is loose, and now the whole thing flops around on your shelf. I wish I had a bigger shelf. I should probably mention, if you're more endowed than me, you probably won't have any problems because there's a lot more top of the chest to rest on, and probably won't move around. Um, is this video just a cry for help because my boobs are small and it makes me sad? I'm not answering that, but give me one more minute to complain about this, and then we'll move on to some actual tracking mounting tips. So the chest strap would be perfect if the shoulder straps were adjustable. Yeah, humans are funny shapes, and more adjustability on one-size-fits-all products is always a good thing. Why does the chest strap not have that adjustment? Well, any extra features or parts, they cost money. This is less parts than this. But I'd be willing to bet there was a prototype with adjustable shoulder straps. But when they tested it on everyone in the office, the cheaper to produce elastic shoulders one fit just fine on everyone. And if they tested it on a girl at all, I bet she had mommy milkers. Not many milkers like me. And when you're designing products, simplicity is key. So I understand why the chest strap has this problem for me and all of 3 other people, but this is the V1 and apparently also the V2 VRChat edition. But for the V3 design, please just add the adjustable shoulder straps. So whatever, this is an imperfect product, please fix the next version. And that was my original opinion, but I stole this from my partner, hence I didn't buy it, hence I didn't know how much money it cost. And even knowing these are low volume products and EOZ stuff, it tends to be not cheap. I assumed it was 30 bucks, maybe 40. It's $58 before tax and shipping, and they charge for shipping. There's no such thing as a bad product, just a bad price. For $30 with the kind of obvious flaw of the non-adjustable shoulder strap, good price. For $58, they should have spent the extra pennies to make these adjustable. And $69 for the VRChat edition, they knew what they were doing, nice. So people who are now getting into full body VR have it pretty good compared to how it was when I started dancing. And I had it better than the OG full body users. Nowadays, gotta feel old, you can buy some feet straps and they work well, even for energetic dancing. No modification needed. Shout out to EOZ for these foot straps, these really are good, because just a few years ago, dancers' feet straps were something like this, wrapped in duct tape, or a vibe tracker bondage tied onto a sneaker with shoestrings, or literally a puck sewn onto a sock. But now these foot straps are perfect for the casual player who just wants to lie down, and also are perfect for the insane breakdancers who break numerous trackers. And that's good. Okay, nothing has really changed with the hip straps except for the snack pouch, but loop them through the femboy shorts and they're perfect and you don't even need to modify the belt. So these products are perfect. For 58 bucks plus tax and shipping, you have a good way to mount full body trackers that a newbie can use and an enthusiast can use, both being happy with it. And that's good. Even if you get the VRChat edition straps, that's 100 bucks after tax and shipping. For hip and feet, that's okay for VR stuff. So hip and feet tracker mounting is kind of a solved problem, and conveniently, that's all most users need. But here's my problem with the rest of the 11-point tracker straps. Anything more than hip and feet is usually bought by enthusiasts, pole dancers like me, break dancers, and performers. People who push their equipment to the limit. I wish these products were just a little better because people like me buy them, thinking it's a good way to mount trackers to your arms, chest, or knees. And you try them out and realize the fundamental design just isn't good for anything more than standing and walking around. And realistically, they know the people buying these are enthusiasts who are gonna dance or perform for the strenuous movements. These kinda suck. Like, they are fine for the casual VR player, but casual VR players don't buy 11-point tracking. And they aren't really good enough for enthusiasts because they're uncomfortable or don't hold the tracker very stable. You know, their only job. But hey, a lot of people are enthusiasts, just not as degenerate as me. And they'll love these for the convenience, even if they need modifications to work well. But how do the real degenerates attach these trackers to their bodies? Well, I'm glad you asked. A lot of sewing janky things together and cannibalizing old straps. Let's start with the tracker bra! This is tight. So you'll probably see me in a sports bra and bottoms right now. For YouTube, this should be fine, but if for some reason that demonetizes a video, which would be cringe by the way, this might all be pixelated, in which case, uncensored will be on Patreon. Whatever I end up censoring this video will be on Patreon, and only Patreon, because I would never post lewd depictions of myself on the internet in exchange for money. Alright, ad read is over, but how do you make this monstrosity? Take an old or broken tracker strap. If you have friends who are dancers, they'll probably have a few broken straps they could give you. These always wear out. Repairable. Pretty messed up. Destroyed.
even more destroyed.
Cut everything that's not the tracker mount off of it, make sure to leave that little fabric pouch that holds the plastic puck in place, and sew it onto a cheap sports bra.
And here's the best part, it's not even that expensive.
This is a $12 sports bra. I got it at Walmart along with a $4 sewing thread and needle kit. Hell, you could add the extra $8 in better needles and the stabby tomato I bought, which you don't need, and you're still ahead of the EOZ strap. All of those prices are rounded up, by the way, to account for tax. You do need a broken strap of some sort though.
If you've been dancing for a while, you've probably had some older style foot straps that just suck to wear, or a worn out pair. Just cut them up and harvest the piece the tracker mounts to in its fabric pouch, and you can sew it onto whatever you like. And that works, but here's a product I want to see. A bundle of trackers sewn in fabric pouches, and sell 4 of them for like 25 bucks, and encourage people to sew them to whatever they like, so enthusiasts can make their tracker mounts that are perfect for them. Extra points if they're red and purple.
I made this thinking it'd be a funny joke for the video, but sports bra tracker strap, do it. Especially if you got boobs, like it just fits so much better. I will say, don't put the tracker this far to your left. I would have moved it an inch to the right if I had the choice. I hit my arm on it sometimes, but still better than that. It holds really well and it's comfy. Just if you have larger breasts, you can't put it perfectly in the middle because, you know, gap. But frankly, the EOZ strap has that problem. If you have boobs, it's not really supported by anything.
Funny enough, if you're a dude, you can mount the tracker bra wherever you like with no downsides. But as funny as it is to gaslight men into wearing sports bras, if you don't have tits, EOZ chest strap will work pretty well, but at the same time... Okay, I'll stop with the tracker bra. Let's switch to more unisex tracking mounting options. What other monstrosities can we create? So one big reason I don't wear arm or knee trackers is this. And yeah, they hit the pole, that's annoying, but it's mostly annoying because they hit the pole and twist. I don't care much about them hitting the pole. I just want them mounted well enough that when they hit the pole, they don't move. I already wear knee braces while in VR because rug burn on knees is a special kind of hell, but people sew tracker mounts onto these because they're tight and a lot more stable to mount compared to this. It's just a good way to mount the trackers, and yeah, after a couple dances, these slide down a couple inches and you have to pull them back up. But once again, it's better than this. And I've heard of people doing similar things for better arm tracking mounts. There's arm compression braces you can buy that would probably work pretty well. I feel like it could be a little bit uncomfortable, but first of all, compression sleeve is probably more comfortable than the EOZ arm strap at circulation cutting tightness. Just for it to still move. And second of all, these are VR chat dancers we're talking about here. Something being uncomfortable is not a turnoff. I mean, sometimes when I hop on a pole after my skin is all beat up from holding up your body weight via friction, it damages your skin so much, I will scream from the pain of the pole on my skin. Then I'll keep dancing because pain isn't real. I'm special. And a masochist. But hey, I really hope a lot of your eyes are open to the fact that, yes, you can DIY your own tracker mounts, and they're kind of better. And it would be really cool if EOZ or another company would make the little sew-on pucks to make it even easier. And I know sewing is scary, but it's stupid cheap just to try out, and it's such an easy skill to learn. Plus on top of DIYing your own tracker mounts, foot straps, they always wear out, and fixing them is cheaper than buying new ones. Like, here's a worn out pair. I fixed it, they work great now. I think DIYing your own straps is cool, and I know a lot of people who bought tracker mounts just to try out more trackers and ended up hating them. So here's another option I hope y'all considered. And no, when you're dancing in VR, DIYing stuff is not weird. Most of the enthusiasts do it. I mean, look at my headset. This monstrosity. It's not stock, and I've seen dancers' headsets that look worse than mine. There are some horrendous examples, and I'm all for it. But if you're like me and you're dissatisfied with the current enthusiast VR tracking, or these are a little pricey in your opinion, they're pretty pricey, now you know there are better options. Okay, it's more options, but better options. And that's the resource I want to be. I had to learn all this on my own. I had to pay a lot of money to figure this all out. So the least I can do is share my knowledge and help save you a buck as you try to be a degenerate VR pole dancer like me. Why do people do this? I never knew I'd inspire people to do this. It makes me happy, thank you. Oh, there's one thing I forgot to mention, and this is no fault to any VR companies. When you have boobs and you pole dance, there's this one move I love doing, and... Ow, my boob! Yup, it's really easy to smack your tits against the pole. It hurts. But because of HRT being weird, I've had a lot of stages of my breast growing. I mean, not much, but, you know, little progress here and there. That doesn't add up to much. I wish I grow more. And you know that aching sensitivity right in the nipple when they're growing? Yeah, try that and smashing your tits against the pole. It hurts so much. Obviously, I should just learn better form and not hit the pole with my breasts. But wearing a bra of some sort helps protect the milk bags. Mini milk bags, in my case.
If you want to do the whole degenerate dancing in VR thing like I do, I'm working on a how-to pole dance in VR video, but on a budget because this shit's expensive. So subscribe for that. Shout out to the Patreon subs. Support means the world. Subscribe for sneak peeks and uncensored vids. I think that was very clear. Check out the second channel and my Twitter, Discord, and of course Dancy streams on Twitch. Also the other sites that actually pay the bills. And why am I in the forests? I think I was planning like a touching grass joke, but that's not grass.
Last second addition to the video, I was asking around for dancers with weird tracking setups or reference pics in the vid. And I was informed there's a girl who sewed a tracker mount onto her panties. How the fuck do I ask for a picture of that? I don't know. But thank you VRPD for supplying me with these horrendous headset photos. Subscribe and love y'all. Bye.